What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here from DataDash, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day wherever you are, because in today's sponsor review, I want to spend some time to talk about one of the top emerging projects when it comes to the narrative of AI agents. Today, we're not only going to be talking about FChain as an infrastructure play within AI agents, but more specifically, the recently launched Rift platform, which aims to serve as a sort of Shopify marketplace for modules that you can plug and play into AI agents for various different use cases and purposes. This has obviously been a really big narrative on a lot of people's radar in crypto and Web3. So I want to spend some time to give an overview about how Rift is aiming to tackle this market and add value, and along with that as well, how FChain has emerged as one of the top Avalanche L1s in the broader crypto space, as well as a lot of core fundamentals around the protocol and the token. We got a lot to unpack here in today's video. If you happen to enjoy it, consider dropping a like, and let's go ahead and kick things off. So I want to first start by saying here that FChain as a protocol has a lot of big backers behind it. They have Pantera, Lightspeed, A16Z, Sequoia. They have got a big foothold in the crypto space and a lot of big backers behind them, which is definitely one of the first hallmarks of the project. But beyond that as well, FChain is aiming to do something in this relatively speculative and new area of AI agents, which is take it a step further from what we saw from Virtual's protocol. Now, many of you have possibly heard about Virtuals. You probably know that it's been one of the top performing altcoins into the close of 2024. And essentially, this whole narrative of AI agents, at least in the form that it's existed now, is that people have essentially deployed or launched their AI agents and essentially launched tokens matching towards each agent. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, there are lots of different use cases for AI. You could use AI for trading in markets and spotting opportunities. You could use AI to go out there and do various jobs online, whether that be content creation. It could also be as well different types of services like programming that would essentially be able to generate revenue long term and make these AI agents be self-fulfilling entities that are able to go out and do tasks on the open market. But with FChain, they have a focus here of building an entertainment platform. FChain has been launched by Fairway, which is essentially one of the largest protocols out there when it comes to Web3 gaming and entertainment. They have an entire infrastructure built for a whole range of different titles out there within the Web3 ecosystem. Some of the biggest Web3 games and probably some of the more polished ones that I've seen versus a lot of the kind of MVPs and alpha versions of games that usually you find with a lot of these Web3 gaming projects. Real like AAA quality games that are starting to come out from this platform. And again, partnered with a lot of major funds as well, which speaks to the quality as well and the range of ecosystem developments that are going on, such as Shatterline, as well as DataDash, which basically piles into the whole Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem. But the main thing I want to spend some time to talk about here is how FChain is aiming to make a move into the trend of AI agents and essentially shake up the traditional experience, ideally providing more value and opportunity within that sector. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about it here. The main purpose of Rift is to build what they define as a Shopify app store for AI agents. So if we take, for example, the existing Virtuals marketplace or Virtuals protocol, which has really been kind of the main hub for AI agents to be created and launched, usually people would go out and create these AI agents that are really good at doing particular tasks. It could be going out and trading on the market, finding opportunities for yield and DeFi in an autonomous fashion using a custom large language model and having a token tied to each of these different AI agents, as well as TVL deposited with them. But beyond that as well, it could also be used for content creation, social media engagement, all types of different avenues that we've started to see being automated by AI as a technology, or essentially large language models. The idea here for FChain is to essentially upgrade that experience by essentially allowing anyone to deploy not only an AI on the Rift.ai platform in this case, so you can do exactly what you've done in Virtual's protocol. But beyond that, the biggest use case or value proposition here is the ability to access this essentially Shopify-like experience where you can purchase modules that you can plug and play into your AI. So this essentially allows for an open marketplace of upgrades that you can plug into AI. So you can make them smarter, you can make them multifunctional, they can do more than just one particular purpose. They could become revenue generating autonomous assets that go out there and can do a whole range of different things. So this idea, while again quite novel and still I would say at the end of the day is quite early on and a bit speculative, as with all AI agents as a narrative. I'm just going to always tell it to you guys straight here. All new narratives kind of go through this conceptual phase, people rapidly experimenting. This at least sounds quite interesting. Because to me, it sounds like this is going to allow for more experimentation. It's going to allow for a streamlined path for more people to get into the market and find unique kind of combinations with these modules to be able to go out and build an AI agent that can ideally be very productive and go out and do things on the open market. So there's all types of different things that, again, we could possibly use AI agents for if we think about the hypotheticals. But the idea here is at the end of the day, everyone should have the ability to launch AI agents, to be able to plug and play and build their custom ones. Obviously, by renting the modules, there's a cost to it at the end of the day. Right, so you really have to build these that are going to be successfully revenue generating, be able to cover those maintenance costs around it, but essentially be able to go out there and get involved in the broader AI agent narrative, really opening it up to everyone. So I think that this is quite exciting. I think, again, with the established foundation of working within the Avalanche ecosystem is one of the biggest L1s, having Fairway really kind of heading up the developments here, and along with that as well, being able to essentially have a lot of institutional backing behind the project. This, to me, at least gets me a bit interested, seeing the market being really excited about AI agents as a narrative, right? It's something that at least can't be ignored here. We want to keep it on our radar. So let's go ahead and talk about, some of the details here, again, about how this could possibly look from kind of a conceptual basis. So obviously, you can import agents. So this really already puts it on par with Virtual's protocol, that ability to essentially launch an agent, be able to have a parent token with it, right? So all of the core fundamentals from the marketplace of virtuals that people have already come to know and expect. But outside of this, well, this idea of being able to essentially activate swarm functionality across various modules, being able to rent or essentially pull from different modules out on the active market, and essentially be able to get revenue that funnels back in to the agent's treasury. So there's a wallet created with each agent that can manage total value locked or amount of capital within that protocol, and then essentially go out there and complete various different tasks. Now, if you're looking for a good visual explainer to really understand what Rift.ai is doing and the broad concept of what it's trying to bring into the AI agent narrative, I highly recommend you guys check out this recent video posted by Real Jonah Blake over on X. He did a great job of visually explaining and describing how essentially Rift.ai is building this plug-and-play marketplace to improve AIs even further and really allow people to have a no-code approach to being able to build their own AI, taking existing modules or components that, while they may be useful on their own, can be even more powerful when paired with a custom set of other modules that you may need for a custom use case. So again, it's really about democratizing or opening up that opportunity for people to really get into this space and get even more creative than those who are simply building these large language models and know how to program in this emerging sector. So definitely check out that video if you have the time and you're interested in the project that can help you get a better understanding of that. But I want to go ahead here and talk a little bit here about the core utilities of the Rift token as well as the FChain. Essentially, the Rift token at the end of the day is going to be the core token that any given token related to an AI is going to trade against here, right? So essentially on the Rift platform, all module tokens, right? In this case, all the modules that an AI could plug into will be traded against the Rift token here. So it's a core utility token within the broader platform. And outside of that as well, you also have the FChain. Now think of this as the actual blockchain, the actual L1, where activity is happening on the chain in the same way you'd have Ethereum or Solana or Avalanche or all these major tokens out there that represent broader blockchain infrastructure. So essentially, the whole idea here for the F token is to serve as the native gas token. So in the same way that ETH serves as gas, or BTC even as well on the Bitcoin blockchain, this is how you essentially pay fees for transaction activity in order to utilize block space for your transactions. So the tokenomics here, or the core utilities of the token, are quite simple. If you believe in the broader adoption of these platforms, you think that they will grow over time, there will be more AI agent modules and therefore more people launching their own custom AI agents through this no-code approach, then in that case, the tokens ideally would grow up long-term with the broader adoption of the protocol. If the narrative doesn't really take off long-term, then the tokens probably won't do too well. So it's really a bet here that these protocols are going to be able to lead and provide an even better experience, offer up new opportunities versus what was even possible on virtuals and other existing marketplaces. The key thing I wanted to go ahead and talk about here is the price action. So the protocol just recently launched here. Now, again, as always, guys, when I talk about this, I'm going to give you guys my honest approach to it. You will see that if you watch any of my trading videos out there, I usually follow a very similar approach, especially on new launches or meme coins or different types of more kind of fast momentum areas within the crypto space. But the main thing I want to say here around the Rift Sol launch recently, where the token first launched, is that it had an initial major rally here at the beginning. A lot of people excited about it. Since then, we've been seeing a cool down here in regards to price. And for me, I really like to lean into the 4-hour moving averages. Now, right now, we don't have any data to work with here, but I would essentially recommend the core principle that I would use for meme coins, as well as any fast moving narratives. AI agents fits into this category. I would say anything that is relatively new, hot as a narrative, one that has really great multiple potential, but also a lot more volatility. The main thing you want to look for here is that as those moving averages start to print here on the chart, you want to essentially be able to see that the price itself is able to get above the moving averages and start to use it as support and be able to trend higher here, right? We don't know how that's going to play out here so far on the hourly here, as is with most typical launches. You're seeing that on the 1 hour time frame, the 9 EMA, the 21 and the 50, which is what we track so far, the 9 EMA is acting as resistance here. So I would essentially wait until we see prices probably continue to correct a little bit more, eventually start to reclaim those 1 hour time frame moving averages, and above all, really wait for the cross on the 9 EMA on the 4 hour time frame for potential trade. But for like a long-term position here, again, the project right now is sitting around a $50 million fully diluted market cap. If you really compare that to Virtuals, which is sitting at a $1.35 billion market cap circulating and fully diluted valuation of $2 billion, this is a small cap play here. It is a new kid on the block. It is not something that's coming out at a multi-$100 million valuation, if not multi-billion dollar valuation. So that's nice to see that there are a lot of major, kind of VC players backing Rift.ai as a project, as well as the broader FChain ecosystem. That is a lot smaller. It feels a lot earlier than trying to get into Virtuals protocol here, which not only has been in a pretty significant decline for the past month, but outside of that as well, still sitting at a $2 billion fully diluted valuation. Look, at the end of the day, guys, I'm not here to tell you guys you have to go buy anything. I want you to do your own due diligence. I want you to look into it as always. AI agents, as I hinted earlier, for me, is a narrative that I'm still kind of trying to open my mind up to and see the real potential of. I see there's a lot of buzz around it. As a trader, at the end of the day, I've got my methodology here, right, using those hourly, the 4 hour time frame moving averages, where I can trade things irrespective of the fundamentals. But I do think above all here that there is something potentially here within the broader AI agent narrative. And FChain as well as a protocol is definitely something interesting to watch as well, with the broader FChain and the FChain token in regards to the Avalanche ecosystem. So that's also another dynamic to keep in mind here. Even if you're not really bullish on AI agents, you can also check out as well the developments going on around FChain and far away as a general company in the crypto space. So if you guys are interested to check out some more details around it, do your own due diligence, look into it, check out the links down below in the description. I definitely want to hear from you guys down below in the comments what you think, whether or not you're really bullish on the project, whether you've got your skepticism around it. I would love to hear and get a conversation going. But until the next video, everyone, thank you all so much for tuning in as always. And until the next video, I'll see you guys right back here on the DataDash channel. Take care, everyone.